here we go. Finally back after a couple weeks of no shows with another son of a bitch. With another episode of the jankityasspodcast, finally number 53 here. And I already got a good title for it. It's definitely going to be Take Two because, well, as you can see, it's just me this time around. And Tom was, well, we tried recording this last week a little bit earlier. And because he got himself a new job, which means the schedule's a little more hectic. I'm not used to doing this anymore already, but yeah, so we tried recording this on Thursday or last Thursday. Now I'm doing it Monday like we normally do, but we did it ahead of time. And, well, I screwed up and my mic wasn't being recorded at all. So it was literally just him. It's completely unusable. It's unfortunate. But the good news is that it gave me, well, as you can see, I'm not in my closet anymore. And it gave me a little bit of time to do up a little bit more work in my new office that I got up here. And I built this soundproofing shell, which, as you can see, I need some more panels. I thought it was going to be, the ones I put on are a little higher up, and, well, I need more. 'Cause I'm still hearing a bit of an echo in here, and you probably can too. And for some reason, I'm getting like a little bit of backup in my sinuses here. Damn. Anyway, so yeah, it's been a couple weeks. Some technical difficulties. Of varying sorts. Well, technical and physical. But I'm still working on getting that new PC up and running so that, well, I mean, obviously this thing won't record so slow, and I'll be able to do all my show editing and all that bullshit faster. And, of course, this means I'll also start picking up on the other shows, both the Pontius Paint Booth and Gutsy Ass Gamer, which, if you're watching on YouTube, that's the other two playlists, or, well, other two main playlists that are on here. I got the Pontius Paint Booth playlist where you can see all my work, doing up some hobby stuff, which, I mean, I've kind of taken a bit of a hiatus from, mostly because of this, and, well, I'm also paying more in rent now, too, unfortunately, but it's doable. I just gotta, cut back on a few things and, work better and more. That being said, so I'll start doing that again and posting up episodes, probably not as often. So I don't know if I'm gonna stick with the once a week model. I'm still deciding on that, just because I kind of want to get more people watching before I post stuff. Or, well, I guess I can always like re-demo stuff or like repost some videos, and they might be old, but they'll get more views. And, well, it doesn't really matter when I get the views, so long as I get them, right? Because I'm trying to monetize this bullshit, which we'll see how that goes. But, let's see. Initially, before we go any further, it's beer time. This time, I'm going with an IPA from Newoffice. Here we go. Oh, never mind. Old Nation Brewing Company. I don't know what the Newoffice is. It's just a little thing. But it is the M43 IPA series. This guy is 6.8%, so that's going to be a bit of a pain. Or, well, I'll feel it later. One will be enough. And I've already had half a bowl here, too, before starting up. But, oh yeah, that's nice and thick. And, as you can also see, Still got my trusty horn with me. Ooh, and you can even see more of me too there. That's nice. As much as I enjoyed the closet, I like this a little bit better. Also got to get handles for this shelf too, so I can move it around in my room, because right now it's kind of it's a little bit of a pain in the ass. And also some other news, like I was saying, boy Tom, we started a new job, which good for him. But it is a more hectic schedule, so he won't be able to come on as much. He'll be able to only do like once a month, but a little bit longer, so I can cut that up into different episodes, which means I am going to try... I'm going to try and learn English. And then I'm going to try and find a third co-host to be on me. Well, I guess a second co-host, because I'm just the host, primarily. And I do everything. But I'm going to try and find a third person to sit in with me, hopefully in person, too. Which means, I got to get another one of these mics. Which I know Tom had one of these mics, but for some reason, like, it didn't work, and then he just never tried. So I was like, you know what, I'll buy it off of you next time I see you. Or something like that. So I'll have another mic. I do need another webcam. And, well, by the time my PC is fucking built, and I figure, well, I built it. Most of it. I still have to connect a few things. Or figure out where they go. But, more importantly, I gotta figure out why the damn thing won't turn on. Which might have something to do with the fact that it's not completely connected correctly all the way yet. And apparently, according to like the forums and stuff like that, the main answer or the main way to fix it is to stick a paperclip in a couple of the 24-pin holes and then see if that starts the fan. Like, I think it also means I gotta disconnect my power source from everything too, which is a pain in the ass, but whatever. Anyways, yeah, this IPA is hazy as fuck. It's like an orange popsicle, kind of, but it's a little more boozy than an actual orange. Anyways, as far as this office goes, I also got a couple of I got another nice big monitor, which is actually what I'm looking at right now when I'm looking over this way, so I can better see what I'm doing, or at least what you're seeing, actually. And you can also see, since I'm using, I'm just doing this in solo mode right now, so I don't have to like use zoom or anything, so you can see I can put like images and shit around my beautiful face here, which is good. Anyways, things going on since you've last seen me. It's definitely the California's definitely opening up quite a bit more. Cause even just a couple nights ago, after I tried to record this episode, I was out at the mall in Century City, which is kind of like one of my home areas. And it was full of people. There's just fucking people everywhere, which is good. And I mean, everybody was following the rules and all that stuff. And it sounds like they're finally gonna lift all the restrictions here in California. So that's nice. Be interesting because, well, I don't know. I mean, I was missing, I'm already missing the not having any traffic around. Oh, damn it. I'm just itching. Hopefully I won't have to do a lot of these solo episodes, because you can already tell it's kind of not proven to be my forte. It's definitely better to have another person with me. But again, this is kind of a last minute emergency podcast. I didn't want to wait, 3 weeks to get another one out. But, so yeah, that's nice. And then I was also fortunate in that my job downtown, started paying more. Quite a bit more, because we got extended. Still only just weekends. But, yeah, they added like $5 an hour, which is quite a bit. So, but it's still temporary, though. It's going to be over at the beginning of June, and then I'm on my own again. So hopefully I'll have something more by then. But also my venue jobs are starting to pick up. Again, I was working an overnight for all last week, actually, pretty much. Was, no, not last week. The week before, actually, now. When I tried to record this, it was last week. But, yeah, I did a bunch of overnight shifts, working the Overwatch duty for one of the venues, which I hadn't been to yet, so that was nice. I got to explore the entire building when I was there. But they were doing a series of quote unquote live stream shows, which actually they recorded like 10 different shows in a week, and those are going to be trickling out eventually sometime down the future. I was there at night, so I wasn't part of like the actual, when they had the shows going on. When I would get there for my shift, it was like right as the crew people were leaving, and by the time I left was right as the like right before the crew people started showing up, except for one night I was there, and the artist that they had for that night was like a good 3 hours late. So, I mean, there was definitely one guy that I saw the morning before coming in, and then like an hour after I started my next shift, that was him leaving. So I kind of feel bad for that, but that was for like the AV crew and stuff. Well, let me holster this for a second. Shit. What else happened to me over the weekend? Not really that much. I know fuck, I can't even believe I almost forgot about this, but I finally got to see a movie last week. I went to my, the closest one I have to me nearby my house is the Cinemark, which has fortunately survived almost every, the fuck am I trying to say? It has survived the pandemic without any real problems. In that, like, they weren't really, I'm sure they lost a few theaters, like smaller ones across the U.S. I mean, where did I have at home? Yeah, in my hometown, we had a Carmike, which I'm not sure what happened to them. I think they straight up just shut down, but I guess some independent bought it out, and so now we have a home theater, or not a home theater, movie theater in my hometown. But it was a little bit too late because the last time I was there was over the holidays, and of course there were no open theaters at all, which is a pain in the ass. There was a couple things I wanted to see, but I didn't get to. But what I did get to see, I went to see the movie Nobody, which is that one with Bob Odenkirk, or Better Call Saul. You might remember that show, and basically it's literally just it's good. It's a straight up fuck 'em up. A straight up fuck 'em up. Yeah, that sounded right. It sounds like I know how to speak English still. Also, if you're watching and you're wondering, no, I'm not a veteran, but friends were. And also, this was more of a 4th of July shirt for a couple years ago. Fits. But what was I saying? Yeah, I know my reaction to that movie, and most people's too, actually, apparently, was that it's kind of like meant to be like a funnier John Wick. It was kind of the same thing where he just seems like a normal dude, and then all of a sudden gets into a fight, and then you find out like, oh, he's some like uber black ops fucking special forces assassin, basically, and he beats shit out of some Russian gangsters, and they kind of have like other people in there, and they make it sound like there's going to be a sequel, which I don't think there will be. I think since John Wick's already kind of doing its thing, and they have like 2 more movies in production already, they kind of have the market cornered on that. So I think they're just going to let it go, which is fine. But oof. And then I also want to go see Kong versus Godzilla. Not like, well, want to is kind of a strong word, but I am going to eventually go see it, because I mean, of course I will. You know, it's like any kind of a shitty action movie, sort of like I'm eventually gonna go see it, right? So I'll see that, and apparently they have Mecha Godzilla in there too. They introduce him, or it, I should say, and this isn't like a spoiler. I mean, damn thing's been out for almost a month now, so if you don't know already, what's wrong with you? And then also, when I last tried to record this episode, we were also talking about the Mortal Kombat movie, which hadn't come out yet, but I have since seen it, and I liked it, but it's kind of a shitty movie when you think about it. Like, if you see it, because it's so cheesy, right? I mean, literally okay, spoilers coming at you, but literally they have the scene where Kung Lao fights Nitara whenever everybody's trying to run away from the bad guys. Splits her in half with his hat, and he literally says it was either fatality or flawless victory, like just out loud. It was kind of dumb. And then later on, when Liu Kang burns Cabal to death with his when he summons like that flaming dragon or stuff like that. Not like this. This looks more like a gay horse. That's not what happened. It was a flaming dragon. I can't really. I don't have room. I'll hit the mic, but I don't know. My nose itches either. But and he burns him up and literally says flawless victory. It's cheesy, and just the just the way that like they had the other story with the characters, where I didn't like how they kind of introduced the plot line of how like the champions who are chosen for Mortal Kombat are like branded by like some magical symbol. God damn it. Whereas in the video games, I mean, it's not anything like that at all. You know, they're not. There's no like There's no like mystical whatever. It's just anybody can kind of join on whichever side that they want to join. But and then I also kind of didn't. I wasn't a big fan of how they did with Sonya in the movie, because, well, I mean, in the game she's always like a high-ranking military or army officer or commander or whatever. Depending, I know in the video games it's general eventually, but different. And then she dies. But in the movie, they what did they do? Well, she wasn't like high ranking at all in the movie, right? I think the best description was I think the best description of it I found was a comment that I saw on a Facebook post about it, and someone called her basically a tin hat. She's like the way that they portrayed her in the movie. She's kind of like she's kind of a crazy conspiracy theorist who turns out to be right, and that's and she somehow has Jax roped into her whatever scheme, I guess. And apparently that's also kind of how they find Kano. Whenever you find him in the movie, she's got him chained up or whatever. And apparently he's a champion of Mortal Kombat because one of the ways that you get the mark is either like passed down through your blood, or if you kill somebody who has a mark, then you gain, or then they gain their mark, and then they're champions of Mortal Kombat coming up. Which, I mean, yeah, I don't like that mechanic. It reminds me a lot of the same of like what they did with the old Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, where instead of like the whole thing where Peter is, smart enough to figure out how to create his own web shooters, in the Tobey Maguire movies, which is like the old Spider-Man's, it was just like an organ in his wrist. His body just kind of did it naturally, and it, for most people, that didn't really work that well. But then they kind of rectified that later whenever they had Andrew Garfield and then later Tom Holland playing Spider-Man. They gave him, they did the wristwatch thingies, the web shooters. Yeah, that thing. Let's see. Also, movies. What do I want to say? So I've also been watching the Marvel, the Disney Plus series in Marvel, and also yeah. So I don't know if I talked about this already, but I did see my life flash before my eyes. Now I'm just burping my ass off over here. Oh, there we go. But I did see all of WandaVision that had been out for a little while, and that movie kind of sets up the next Doctor Strange movie, because I think that they're gonna have the Scarlet Witch be kind of like the bad guy of that movie, but like not a like an unwitting villain, or whatever the word is. Not non-consensual, but just kind of like ends up being the bad guy because of, decisions, basically. But so yeah, that show is going to feed straight into Doctor Strange. And it sounds, so apparently it was submitted to the Oscars as a limited series, which means that there's no, in order to do that, there's no plans for it to continue, right? So maybe if it doesn't win like the limited series thing, maybe they'll go back and be like, yeah, we'll have another WandaVision. But I don't see how they're going to do that, because they wrapped up like the idea of that story in that series. They would have to make something completely different. But and then yeah, after that they had Falcon and Winter Soldier come out, which I just finished last weekend as well after trying to record this. No, that was also a pretty good show too, but one of the things with both of these episodes, every time I watched an episode, I was halfway through an edible high, so that does kind of affect my own little bit of judgment. But Well, I'll start it. Well, I'll start off with the bad thing, I guess, for me. Actually, for both shows, was that it gets real. They get real campy at the end, because like before, when they had well, she wasn't the Scarlet Witch yet. Actually, that's what WandaVision was about. She becomes the Scarlet Witch. But Wanda in the movie, she didn't really have like a costume. She just wore a red trench coat type of thing. And now she has like the thing with the like the spiky red crown kind of, and a cape, and just the whole shebang. And like it kind of the episode kind of ends with like a dialogue type of thing, which I don't know. I also don't remember that much because, again, like I said, I was kind of high in that. But it does set up a few other things, like they got the White Vision, which everybody wanted. Which in this case, he was kind of like a It was a sneeze. Pardon me. No, but he was basically like the Vision without any memories or personality, really. And he goes off, so that's there. And then, well, in Falcon and Captain America, Falcon and Winter Soldier, the Falcon who picks up the identity of Captain America as he did in the comic books. He's even got like the suit and everything, just like the all-white suit. And special wings that the Wakandans give him. Who is there? They're there for a little bit because they have they have the what are they called? The ladies with the spears, the Dora Milaje, I think they were called. Who are chasing after Zemo, who they break out, but they make that character better. And then they also introduce the U.S. agent in this show. And the actor for it, I didn't know, was actually Kurt Russell's kid. Kurt Russell's son, Wyatt Russell. And he does awesome with this. They do pretty good. But, I mean, that series, it gets campy, too, at the end, because he literally... The end of the show, the end of the last episode is literally him giving a speech to a bunch of world leaders, like at the in the middle of the aftermath of like their big fight against the super soldiers, or the super revolutionaries, I guess would be the word, because they're like activists, but they've taken the serum, so they're all super strong and all that. So they're literally standing around like some APCs that they broke all these quote unquote world leaders out of, and he's giving them like a whole speech and stuff like that. So it got real campy, right? And then they ended with like a whole family gathering type of thing, and then the Winter Soldier there's too, which he technically doesn't have a family anymore. Because he's old as shit. And I also noticed with the last episodes of both of those series is that they kind of jump forward in time in the story a lot more than the rest of the episodes do. So it is a little jarring, especially in my case since I was, high while I was watching it. So that's just what happens. But I believe the next series that they're coming out with is going to be Loki. Which, well, I mean, I'm going to watch them all, regardless. Just bet on that. Or don't actually, because you're talking like a 1-to-1 odds, since I just told you. Or maybe that would just be like 0 odds. Like, you throw your money in the pot and then just dump it back out onto your table and be like, no, There you go. You're banned from the hotel. Fuck off. But I need to go to Vegas again. Also, obviously, we all do. We're getting there. However, what was I gonna say? Yeah. So Loki looks fun. I like it. Even with Owen Wilson, who I never really had a problem with, but hopefully they don't have him in there just being like, wow, in every episode. That's some good strong haziness. Got the haze for days. That is. I'll write that down. I'll put in the hashtag. I'll hashtag that shit. And then let's see what else. I also know that the Hawkeye show apparently finished filming not too long ago, so we'll get that. And they finally decided to release I lost it. Black Widow. They're finally going to bring out the Black Widow movie that was supposed to come out a year ago, actually now. I think they're going to kind of do like what HBO did with Mortal Kombat, where it's like in movies and it's also streaming for a little bit, and then I guess it'll probably go away and then come back again later. But I just know that they're finally coming out with that movie. So that'll be fun. I want to see it. And I know, let's see, I don't know if I quite talked about this, but apparently Marvel finally got the rights back for both The Punisher and Jessica Jones. So I'll see some more of that. And then they also have announced that they're going to reboot The Punisher. Or either reboot or continue. But they're going to keep using John Bernthal in there. Who's the guy that they've been having him play in the Netflix series. So that's all good news. All of that's good. And then I don't know what I would assume they're going to try and do the same thing with all the series that they have, including Jessica Jones. Hopefully they have what's her face back in there. Again, I don't remember the name. I'm not looking it up or anything like that either, because I don't have a keyboard yet. I mean, obviously my mouse is wireless, even if this thing is kind of being crappy on me. Here we go. What was I saying? Oh, and I remember a while back, I think I did talk about this too, even back when I was still normally solo, was that I guess they are still having Charlie Cox, who was the Daredevil in those Netflix series. He's still like he's still retained. So it sounds like they're gonna do, yeah, because I remember now, because he was apparently in the filming for, or listed as part of the cast for the next Spider-Man movie, whenever that is. So all good news. Marvel knows what they're doing, oddly enough, as long as Kevin Feige doesn't retire or keel over dead. So again, cross your fingers, stay up, don't catch the COVID or anything else. Don't even get crabs. Don't even get herpes. Keep going, man. And then maybe go and teach Warner Brothers a thing or two, because we've already seen, what's happening with their handling of the whole DC stuff. I mean, this is public knowledge. There's a bunch of articles from people who were a part of those movies, the big ones. and they kind of just sort of mucked it all up. They mucked it, they fucked it, all of that. And I still haven't even seen the new Wonder Woman, so but I've heard. Are you listening to this show and thinking, man, I'd like to start a podcast, but I don't even know where to start? Well, Buzzsprout has the answers for you. Buzzsprout is a podcast hosting service that provides a number of valuable resources to help you on your podcasting career path. For one, Buzzsprout offers indefinite hosting of all your episodes and allows you to host as much material as you want, depending on the type of subscription that you opt for. Buzzsprout also provides a means for getting your show hosted to every major podcasting platforms such as iTunes, Pandora, Spotify, you name it. In addition, Buzzsprout also provides various means to get your show monetized through various sponsorship and affiliate programs, links to other paid hosting platforms such as Patreon and YouTube, and your own personal newsroom to learn all the tips and tricks for optimizing your podcast for the greatest return on your investment. If you're hearing all this and you're still interested, you can go to my link below and receive an Amazon gift card for starting a podcast hosting subscription that you'll receive on the second billing period of your podcast journey. Everyone has something to share, and there's no time like the present. Join Buzzsprout today. So I guess one last thing that we're going to do, since I'm doing the solo, that means I can bring back our favorite segment, Postapocalypse, which is where we read the headlines of posts and basically just run with it. You know, I don't normally read into the articles at all. I just go off the headlines. And since I got a new setup going on here, I can actually show you what I'm looking at like this. Oh yeah. And you can see that's our first article up. Just ignore the ads, obviously. Actually, yeah. First article, speaking of movies, Cloverfield is finally getting a direct sequel. This is good news to me. Now, I've seen all three of the Cloverfield movies that they came out with. I saw this one in theaters, and I have the DVD somewhere. Definitely my favorite. They just had like the big monster. And then I saw Cloverfield Lane was the second one, which was God damn it, what was it? It was a good movie, but it was almost completely unrelated. Like, it was literally, like, it wasn't a alien monster movie. It was more of a, whatchamacallit, it was a kidnapping movie, right? It was literally a movie about, like, I don't want to say serial killer, but it's kind of like an abusive person, as played by Fred Flintstone. Did a good job there. And then it was only at like the very end that your main character, what's her face, even figured out that there was like the whole alien thing was a real thing, because she kind of like fights off an alien. But yeah, it was more of a like a psychological movie, but it didn't fit. And then there was a third movie that they came out with on Netflix, which I don't even remember exactly what that one was called. I'm not going to look it up. It was like Cloverfield something. And it's about some people who go up into space to try and solve like a crisis. Energy crisis, right? 'Cause I guess they kind of figure out how to make renewable energy. But then it turns out that to do that, they were actually like tapping into a parallel dimension or some shit, and they accidentally tear a hole open, and then that's where the alien comes from. Or no, not even. Like at all. Like they're up in space. They do tear into an alternate dimension, which somebody, like an evil version of somebody else who is supposed to be on that ship, comes through. And it turns into a thing like they don't know who's who, and then like everybody kind of dies. It's more like a slasher thriller. And then when they like finally and like the ship gets disabled and it's like starts to blow up and stuff like that. And so whenever like the main characters finally get everything under control, they're like, all right, hey Earth, we're ready to go home now. And then their command station's like, you guys should stay up here. We suddenly have monsters and shit tearing through all of our cities and stuff like that. And it literally, it's not even because of what they did in the movie. It's just at the end. So it just doesn't work. So this is good news, I guess. I wonder if they're going to have TJ Miller in there too. Because I know that movie was kind of his big break, but he's been a little crazy since then. Not including this whole incident that he had where he, I guess, got really intoxicated and called a bomb threat on the New York subway system or something like that. And yeah, he got in quite a bit of trouble for that. At least financially, anyway. Now let's see. Let's go ahead and move on to our next article. Maybe. This thing's running slow. I'll go back into solo mode. While that loads up. Here we go. Maybe. This is why I want to get, my new computer built, because I got some hair. Not where it's supposed to be. Yeah, my facial hair is a little scraggly. Let's see. Load up. Come on.
I tell you, the more you learn, the more delusional this whole thing becomes. My colleagues, Blake...
This one had a video in it. That is why. Actually, I can get out of this one. Oh, now it's frozen. Cool. But this is why. Yeah, I want to have my new computer built because, or not built, working. I mean, because the processor I have in there is definitely like 20 times faster than the thing I got in this laptop. And it's got more memory in it too, so I won't like run out. Right, here we go. Second article. Little old information. They stormed the Capitol to overturn the results of an election they didn't vote in. This is talking about the January, or the Capitol storming back at the beginning of January, which is it's a while ago now. Most of those people are in jail, but yeah, apparently they did a background check of like the people that they caught, as well as the people that they identified who were actually part of it. Because I mean, nobody was wearing masks or anything like that. Everybody could see your face clearly. Nose itching again. I don't snort or anything like that. I just whenever I'm like, yeah, whenever I get more high, like my nose hairs tickle the inside of my nose. And I've also I also had a similar experience when I would work raves back when I would work in the barricade, and obviously for those events they have like a whole extra bank of just subwoofers right there on the floor in the front, and that shit would just vibrate my nose hairs, and I was always sitting like right up in the front, just itching my nose like that. It would look like I was, on cocaine or something like that, but I'm not. Just working. Like right now, I'm just working. But anyway, so yeah, apparently, so basically, what this article is saying is that these people are hypocrites and probably don't know what they're talking about, or what they believe in, or any of that shit. So we shall move on. Go back here. Let's see what our next article is. Ah, yes. This one's a little more fun, or interesting, I should say. Japan sends robot into the nuclear hell of the Fukushima reactor. It's like a Roomba for nuclear waste. Now, like I said, I don't normally read into these articles, but I did read a little bit of this one a while back. This one's from a few months ago, actually. Back in February. This reactor, there was, when was it? I think it was like 2017 now. This is when they had an earthquake and a tsunami, and it took out this reactor. And it's, of course, been cordoned off ever since. Oh, no, you know what? I remember now. This was before the first Godzilla movie that they had with what's his face, Aaron Dembski-Bowden, I think, and Robert Cranston in there a little bit. It was the one that it was the first movie to kind of build up to what they're doing now with the like the monster movies and stuff or I think it's Universal. But yeah, so they kind of modeled the beginning of that movie sort of on this, where like a reactor goes down or something like that, but it's more in the past, right? A little bit, but similar. But yeah, so anyways, this reactor went offline a while ago, and offline being a generous term, I should say. It melted down, right? And nobody's been in there or anything like that. So they went and checked with this robot, and apparently, what was the thing? I think I remember. You know what? I'm getting my stories mixed up now, because I'm actually thinking about when I talked about the Chernobyl, and how now there's like a moss growing on the nuclear waste and is actually eating it, and making it not dangerous anymore. And I think, if I remember right, the same sort of thing is happening here. And, there's also pictures. Which, that is apparently a ball of nuclear waste. And those two things on the side are like, it's a little grabby, or like a pincer of the robot, but it literally looks like this thing is reaching inside of a smoker's lung. Not pretty. Which, I mean, it's nuclear waste. It's not supposed to be pretty. Let's see. I do not know who... I don't know the credit of the photo, unfortunately, but I will post a link to the article so you can go see for yourself. Okay, so that's enough of nuclear shit. Let's see what else we got here. Here we go. Speaking of Marvel, WandaVision. Katdennings reveals she has more of Marvel appearances after Disney Plus show. So, as you can remember, she was one of the Let's get this fucking ad out of here. Where's my... Oh, there we go. Get lost. Yeah, katdennings. There you go. So she was one of the main characters in the Thor movies. And they threw her in with this movie since they apparently thought they were dealing with like something similar, or the neutral people or whatever. So my prediction is she's going to be in the Loki series, probably. And even though this did say only Disney Plus, oh no, never mind. I think she's also going to be in Doctor Strange as well, since it's kind of a continuation of this show. So I think she'll do that. I already talked enough about Marvel up to this point, so let's see. I got one more for you guys. If I can remember what's... here we go. This one's both funny and sad. Expectant parents fired a cannon to celebrate their baby shower. It exploded and killed a guest. Now, I wonder if they just, like, buckshot this guy in the face or something like that, or if it was, like, the guy holding it and then he just kind of burned up or some shit. But what makes this article sad is that it was after... This is after that story of the baby shower that they had that burned down, like, a forest, basically. So they killed a bunch of animals. I think a couple of, like, the guests died in that one. And these people clearly did not learn the lesson. And I don't think they even figured out what the gender was. It was, it was... The gender was the Antichrist, apparently, because they just killed everything. Fuck, these edibles really are... Actually, I didn't even have edibles. This bowl's really kicking in. I didn't even have the whole thing. I haven't even finished my beer yet, which... Might not even finish it by the time I'm done here, which I think... Yeah, I think this about wraps it up for me. Also, part of the reason that I had to record something is because I am still paying for time, so I got to put something up. But and one of the only thing that kind of sucks here. Well, I hope I get this. I got to finish up this shell here, get some more panels in. Because, like, I could still hear people outside. And I have more roommates over here. But, you know, fuck them. So, anyways, yeah. If you're watching this already, you can see in the corner. Oh, shit. Other corner. Go down to the corner here. Like and subscribe to Multi-Murdy Media. You will get this playlist, the jankityasspodcast, in video format. You will get the Poncho's Pay Booth playlist, which I will be adding stuff in there shortly. Sometime. That is all my hobbies and painting video channel, so you can kind of see me do my work as I work. And then there will be, wow. Hopefully not any more of that. But... And then you will also find the Gutsy Ass Gamer playlist, which I do a different playlist for each game right now. Primarily, I really just have the Fallout 4 playlist, which I'm working on. I'm playing through that game in survival mode, and what you're seeing is the Twitch of that. Someday, I might be able to add in a little bit more of an interface for... my video, since now that I know how to use OBS and I can stream that directly to Twitch, and apparently I can get a video recording card which just kind of comes out of the connection of my machine to my TV, but we'll see. Which means it would be a slightly better resolution, but who knows? Still drinking. And also, if you'd rather listen to this podcast, or you are listening to this podcast, you probably found it on one of the many podcasting platforms, which jankityasspodcast is available on every major one. So that's your iTunes, your Pandora, Spotify, all of those, and a bunch of other smaller ones in between. And last but not least, or no, not last, next up, Multi-Murdy Media is also on TikTok, which, again, I got to work on some more videos, but so basically, it's going to be all just different clips of both Gutsy S Gamer and Ponzo's Paint Booth. Mostly the gamer ones, too, because they're a little easier to clip out, but, different TikTok clips in there, go in there, drop me some views, check it out. I also put everything on Instagram Reels as well. And speaking of which, Multi-Murdy Media is also on Instagram and Facebook. Go there for updates of when shows come out. I usually put an ad up within like a day or two or something like that. And last but not least, multimurdymedia.com is my website. You will again get links to all the different shows that I have in all the different platforms that I'm on, or at least most of them. I think I did put in like the major podcast ones, like the one I already said, right? And you will also have access to my model gallery that I have in there, which is all the models that I've done for the paint booth to date, even some that I haven't released a video yet. Still. And then also some previous ones are in there as well. So, yeah, check all of that out. And that is it for this week. So, hopefully I'll have Tom back for next week. Crossing my fingers, but we'll see. And until then, I'll see you then.